Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned on 7 separate occasions respect, goodness, kindness towards the parents. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after the important duty of obedience and worship none other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the next most important duty that He mentions to us is وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, is to show goodness and kindness towards one's parents. He mentions the important haqq between us and the relationship between us and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that direct relationship. And the next most important duty that we all have is that relationship that we should have towards our parents. And in 2 verses in particular, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after reminding us of this kindness and goodness towards parents, He further highlights of the 2 parents the roles and duties of the mother. He states that وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ إِحْسَانًا حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ كُرْهًا وَوَضَعَتْهُ كُرْهًا. That in particular, the great honorable status of the mother needs to be highlighted. But also, he reminds us that of the goodness and ihsan that we show to both our parents, remember, your mother carried you where no one else carried. Your mother carried you and fed you from the warmth of her love, from the nutrients and from the best care that could be given. And she went through the pangs of difficulties, kurhan, times of hardship. And she gave birth to you as a newborn in this world. Again, times of difficulty and hardship. But out of love and care for the newborn, she went through all the difficulties out of love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a love for that newborn baby. But it did not stop there. She continued to show her care and love. She continued to feed you. Those early years, the infancy years, the mother feeds and gives the best of nutrients, best of proteins, antibodies, and everything to take care in the feeding of that newborn baby. And in fact, you find that the ahadith mention the importance and the status of the mother. And the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us of the love towards the mother, the instrumental role that the mother has in the upbringing of the child, the instrumental role the mother has during those 9 months of pregnancy, that she goes through difficulty, sacrificing food, drinks, and other things, medication even, knowing what food and drink is good for the child, she would take it. For the fetus, she'll take it. Food or drinks or anything that may be harmful to the fetus, she will avoid. Even if it means that she would go through more difficulties. If she's going through some illness during the moment of her pregnancy, and the doctors say, you can't take this medication. Why can I not? I've usually taken it. I've taken it before. They would say, because it will be harmful towards the fetus. Would the mother take it? No. Out of love for that fetus, out of love for that baby, out of love for the one that is growing within her, she provides the best of support, the best of care. Even her surroundings, she tries her best to give it the best of surroundings. energy, sleepless nights, moments of difficulty and hardship, but she knows it will be the best for the care and love that she has for the newborn, for her son, for her daughter. In fact, many times parents may think or may consider that when it comes to that newborn baby, the father, the mother, we both have a role in the newborn baby. Of course, both have a role. But the role of the mother has been highlighted in the ahadith. The role of the mother and the rewards of the mother has been mentioned many times. Sometimes people may say, yes, that process, the biological process of a baby, of the fertilization, it was one cell from the male and one cell from the female. So we should be rewarded 50%. We are both involved in the fertilization, in the process, in the fetus, in the growth. Well, in fact, scientists say that maybe you may think that it's one cell from one to another, but the mother's role in the protoplasms, in the nutrients, in the growth, in the additional requirements, the essential requirements that are needed for the growth of the fetus, shows that there is more share that the female and the mother has in what? In the growth of that fetus. Parents went to a court case regards to the custody of a child, a father and a mother. And they said that this baby of ours, one said, this is my child and it's for me, I should keep it. And the other said, no, it's mine, I should keep it. So the judge said to the father, why do you think that you should have it? He said, well, I was the one that brought it to existence. I was the one who was the origin. And I released it to this world. And started to say the biological process that, look, I am the one who should have the custody of the child. The mother was very smart in her response. She said, you released it after a few seconds of production. I kept it within me after 9 months and released it in this world. You released it whilst it was a few. The weight of it, the mass it was a few. I kept it when it was kilograms and kilograms and heavy within my womb. You released it out of your pleasure and desires, out of your shahwa. I release it in this world out of my love and care for the baby and newborn. In the sense that the mother's care for the newborn, the mother's care for the child has been mentioned so many times in the ahadith, in the verses of the Quran, that when a man came to the Holy Prophet, said, Ya Rasulullah, man abir, who should I be extra kind and caring towards? And the Holy Prophet wanted to rank and state highlight the status of the mother. He said, Ummak. He said, Thumma, and after who? He said, Ummak, your mother. He said, then after who? He said, Ummak, on 3 occasions. Then who? Then he said, your father. Also kindness and goodness towards the father. On another occasion, the man came. He said, Ya Rasulullah, what are the rights of my father? And what are the rights of my mother? The haqq, the duty and care towards the mother and the care towards my father. He said, your father must be obeyed throughout your life. You must obey and be good and kind towards your father. He said, what about my mother? He said, your mother? He said, if all of the single particles of sand in the desert and all of the drops of rain that have been blessed in this earth, if you are to try to collect them and count them, you'll never be able to repay a single day that she carried you within her womb. You'll never be able to repay that goodness and ihsan that your mother had towards you. That's why a man, he carried his mother on his shoulders, carried her towards the holy city of Mecca and performed the tawaf around the holy Kaaba, and then asked the Imam and asked the Ahlul Bayt, Ya ibn Rasulillah, hal abdaytu haqqaha? Have I returned the haqq between a son, between a daughter, between a child and their mother? Some people, the mother asks them, can you go to the grocery down the road? He makes excuses. Can you do this today? Can you do all the excuses? And then when he does the good work and ihsan, he says, look mom, I done this good work for you. As if he's done a great favor. The man carried his mother, went round, performed tawaf. هل أديت حقها? The response came, كلا ولا بزفرة واحدة. Nay, not to one moment of painful contraction that she went through, that she gave birth to you, will never be able to return the love and care that our mother has given towards us. That's why on these nights, on these days, we need to honor and always honor our parents, show love and care. And these nights and days when we remember the mother of the mu'minin, Ummul Mu'minin, Sayyidah Khadija, we need to remember the rights of a mother, the love of the mother, the care towards the mother. How much the Ahlul Bayt and the Ahadith highlight the importance of love and care towards the mother. And sometimes we are sidetracked. Sidetracked in what sense? That those people who try to say, look, you don't need to show care towards your mother. You don't need to love your father. Stop loving your mother. Stop loving your father. As if that love of the mother and father is something that is conditional. No. The love of the mother, the love of the father towards their son and daughter is unconditional. Out of love towards their son, out of love towards their daughter, they'll give everything to provide the best. I read recently, and it was something that I really wanted to share. In various versions, the story you may have heard. A young man, recently married, whenever he would go towards his wife's house and see the mother-in-law, he would notice the mother-in-law has so much love towards her daughter, his wife. And every few weeks he would see that the mother would overflow with showing her love and care towards her daughter. This is natural. The care, the love, the expression. And this husband thought, what's going on? Why is she loving my wife so much? And I want to exchange this love and try to remove the love the mother has towards the daughter, and I want her to only love me, my wife to only love me, not to love her mother, and stop loving her mother, stop caring for her mother. And this, sometimes you find these kind of attitudes sometimes are praying into some of our communities. We need to be careful. The love of the mother, the love of the father is something that has no bounds. Unconditional. Show the care, show the love. So this young man, he went to the local pharmacy and he said, look, I've got a favor. You know, I have a mother-in-law. She loves her daughter so much. And I want you to give me something. Maybe I can add it in her food that would reduce the love that she has towards the daughter. He said, let me think about it for a moment. He went, came back, he said, I've got something, it's like a poison. You can add it into the herbs and the spices, and every day you add it, and you'll see some change in the behavior, but there are some conditions. He said, sure, what are the conditions? He said, first condition, you don't put the full dose into the meal, because they'll be suspicious, they'll realize you've given her something. Second condition is you during this time show the best of akhlaq. You don't lose your temper. You be good towards her. You be kind towards her. You be patient towards her. You be persevering. You show all of the goodness towards her. He said, sure, that's a deal. He took the bottle and slowly, every few days, he would put some into the meal of hers. Some added spices. And after some weeks, him being good towards her, he noticed that she was, in her akhlaq, she was always very good, and he was still being good, and he would add a bit more. He would see that her response was great, and she would show the great nobility and great humor, and he would be patient. Any moment that there would be iffy, he'll be patient, say, maybe she'll get ill in a few days, maybe she'll leave this world, and he would see. But after some time, he would notice that no, even though he was still really good and showing goodness, she would overflow in her goodness. She would show her smiles. She would always be that good nature, the akhlaq that she had towards the daughter, the akhlaq that she had towards the son-in-law. He went back to the pharmacy or to the shop that he went to. He said, oh man, can I ask you not to give me any more doses that you were refilling in this bottle? He said, why? He said, I'm worried that you gave me this and it will make her ill and she may pass away, because in the last few months her akhlaq has been amazing towards me. She's been really kind. She's been really caring. She's been really sweet. I don't know, it may be something in this bottle that you've given me that's changed her attitude and she's become a really amazing lady. He said, no, what I gave you was no poison. What I gave you was not what you thought. I actually gave you some vitamins within this. But what changed was your attitude towards her. What changed was your attitude towards her. And you saw the beauty in her akhlaq, in her love, in her care towards you. And this is what we need to always be. That we need to always be the best one. Always caring, always reciprocating the love, in the akhlaq. That's why you find the teachings of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim wassalam would state that rida Allah fi rida al-walidayn. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with the one who pleases their parents. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is full of anger and wrath, displeased with the one who displeases their parents. In fact, we have a narration that states, Birrul walidain afdal. Birrul walidain, being good towards one parents, afdal in thawab, min as-salah, wal-sawm, wal-hajj, wal-jihad, fi sabilillah. It's greater in thawab to be kind and good towards your parents. A man came to the Holy Prophet, he said, Ya Rasulullah, I wish to come in those journeys that you are there. I wish to come with you, but I have an elderly mother. I need to stay with her. I need to feed her. I need to take care of her. She is feeble and weak, and sometimes I need to even carry her. The Holy Prophet said, staying beside your mother has more thawab than the front lines in the army of those who wish to be with Rasulullah in the jihad. That the thawab that you being beside her is even greater. And we've all heard of the story of Uwais al-Qarani, who wished to see Rasulullah. He was from Yemen, but his mother was asking him to stay and requested for him to stay beside him, until she gave him that permission. For one day he went and couldn't see Rasulullah. Rasulullah was outside the town. He thought to himself, shall I continue to obey my mother who says stay for one day and come back, or should I stay? I yearn for Rasulullah. He returned because he knew of the promise that he gave to his mother. He returned, and the Holy Prophet would respond that there is that fragrance of Jannah from the one who came from Qaran, from Uwais al-Qarani, the fragrance of Jannah. That love that a mother has towards their son, that love that the mother has towards their daughter, that all they want is the best towards their daughter. They want their best of care towards their beloved ones. That's why we need to be careful of the shameful behavior, of the disappointing behavior, of disturbing behavior that sometimes we see outside, that they recommend, for example, that one should what? Have no care anymore, or forget about your parents, neglect them. Once in a while think about them. No, Islam constantly reminds us the importance of praying for your parents. Praying for your parents in your du'as constantly. رَبِّ اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيْ. Always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who are alive amongst us, to pray for them and try our best to serve them. Show our goodness and kindness towards them. Those who have passed away, may Allah bless them, and constantly ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have rahmah upon them. Irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira wajzihima bil ihsani ihsanan wa bis sayyiati afwan wa ghufrana. Many of our young brothers and sisters may have remembered of this nice moral anecdote. A young boy has so many lessons in this. He was unfortunately ashamed of his mother. Wherever his mother would follow him, he would put his head down in disgust and thinking, why is my mother with me? Why is she coming to the park? Why is she coming to the ceremonies with me? Why is she coming to school, pick me up? His mother had one eye. One eye. And the other, she was blinded, couldn't see. She had one eye. But whenever the son would be disrespectful, she would continue to be full of kindness and care towards the son. He grew. He got married. He left the city that his mother was. After some years, the mother came to knock on his door and asked to see his son, his beloved one. As soon as he opened the door to see it was his mother, he slammed the door and said, it seems you've got the wrong address. She left. She returned home. After some time, he received a letter. It is his graduation reunion ceremony. He thought, let me go to the graduation reunion. He looked into the party in the graduation. He noticed his mother was not there. He felt happy. She's not going to embarrass me. She's not going to be full of disappointment. I'm going to be happy now. My mother's not here. Every day she used to come to this school. Every day she used to come to the college. And I felt embarrassed from her. After the graduation ceremony, he went to his home, his old home, to think and remind himself of his childhood. He opened the door. He saw his mother had collapsed on the floor, and there was a letter in her hands. My dear son, for years and years and years, I saw you growing the light of my eyes, my nur of my eyes, my delight, and you were ashamed for me. You were embarrassed for me. Let me tell you, my beloved son, when you were born, you had the problem with your eyes. So I sacrificed my eyes and gifted it to you. A surgery took place, and the eye that I had was transplanted and given to you. I sacrificed my eye, my eyesight, for you to have a future full of eyesight, foresight, insight in this world. and he fell down, ashamed of his past, ashamed of his disgusting manners and disturbing manners. We need to remind ourselves, brothers and sisters, the care and love towards our mother, the care and love that the Ahlul Bayt alayhim wassalam had towards their mother, the care and love that our Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, who was an orphan, the care that he had towards his mother, and love that he had towards his mother Amina bint Wahab. The care and love that Sayyidat Nisa'ul Alameen had towards her mother Sayyidah Khadija. The care and love that Imam Hassan and Imam Al-Hussein, Sayyidah Zainab, the young ones had towards their mother Fatima al-Zahra. Every single one of the Ahl Bayt were full of love and honor towards their mother, towards their parents. On a night like this, days like these, where we remember the year of Huzn of Rasulullah, where we remember Rasulullah, the love that he had towards Sayyidah Khadija alayhi salam. Sayyidah Khadija, who gave away her wealth for Islam, who gave away everything that she had for Rasulullah, her beloved husband. She asked Rasulullah, everything that I have is for your path, for the path of Allah. She was the first to embrace Islam and give her support, not only her moral support, not only her material support, but everything within her for the sake of Islam, for the sake of Allah. A true blessed mother. Nights like these, Rasulullah, when Sayyidah Khadija fell ill and passed away, and he had to place her within her qabr, Sayyidah Khadija had given everything away, that even a kafan of her own. Rasulullah asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Sayyidah Khadija has given everything from her mal, from her wealth away, that even a kafan of hers she had not. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends the angel Jibreel to send the aza and condolences to Rasulullah with a kafan, a heavenly kafan, to shroud Sayyidah Khadija alayha salam. Sayyidah Khadija was buried in the city of Mecca. Rasulullah and the members of the family of Rasulullah, of Sayyidah Khadija, beside her, mourning and grieving on the 10th of the holy month of Ramadan.